Is the Greater Toronto Area real estate market on the way down? Is there a crash coming? Or is it still really hot? Are prices still going to keep going up? Find out all of this and more in this GTA real estate market update for the month of August. What's up everyone, welcome back. My name is Vazquez. I'm a realtor here in the GTA with Keller Williams. In this video, we're gonna break down some of the stats for the GTA real estate market for the month of August. And then after that, we'll go into some of the Mississauga numbers. If you find this information valuable or helpful for you in any way, please do me a huge favor and hit that like button, click that subscribe button, and if you're feeling extra generous, just tap that little notification bell. Let's get started with total residential transactions. There were 8,596 total transactions reported for the month of August. That number is down 20% compared to last year, which keep in mind, last year in August, that was an all-time high that we hit for the total number of transactions for the month of August. Despite the number of sales being down 20% compared to last year, this is still a really high number for August. It's actually the third highest on record for the month of August. So things are still moving along. Typically in the summer months, we do see less activity happening in the market. And while that was very true for this year, these numbers are still pretty high. So when you're seeing things like we're 20% down in August compared to last year, and in my last video, we were 15% down compared to July of last year, keep in mind that we're comparing it to July and August of 2020, which if you do look at it, that was summer and things should have been slower. But because of everything that happened in 2020, no one really knew what was going on. There was lots of lockdowns and stuff. We missed our spring market. And if you know anything about real estate, you know the spring market is the busiest time of the year. So we missed that spring market and it got pushed into the summer. And that's why the summer numbers were super high last year. And now we're doing that comparison this year and we're seeing that the numbers are lower. Looking at 2020 now, we did have our spring market earlier in the year. So it makes sense that things are a little bit slower now in the summer. Makes sense that we're kind of back on that normal monthly trend. However, the demand for home ownership continues to be really strong, and you'll see what I mean as you watch the rest of this video. Another thing I wanted to mention on this topic is that the condo market is really bouncing back with high year-over-year levels of growth for the total number of transactions. To give you an idea of what I mean, the number of sales in the condo market is up 155% compared to last year. So that's huge growth right there. Again, take it with a grain of salt because we're comparing it to 2020 where the condo market did take a hit and it was really slow for quite a few months. Things are back on track though, and the condo market is super active again. Next up, we got total new listings. New listings are down 43% compared to August of 2020. We had 10,609 new listings this month compared to the 18,559 we saw this time last year. That's a pretty significant decrease. Actually, this is the lowest number of new listings we've seen for the month of August over the last decade, which is a little alarming. It's clear that the supply of homes is not keeping up with the demand as the number of sales each month keep eating up higher and higher shares of all the new listings that are coming on the market. There's fewer and fewer new listings hitting the market each month, and those listings are getting sold, particularly when they're priced right, which leads to less and less supply. This inevitably leads to tighter market conditions and more competition between buyers, which is driving the price up. Don't get me wrong though, there are a lot of listings that are kind of just sitting on the market for weeks and weeks, but that's more of an issue of they're overpricing their listing or their agent's just not going above and beyond to get their listing in front of all the potential buyers out there. But that's a separate issue. The main issue is we've been dealing with the lack of supply for over a year now, and the competition between buyers is starting to really heat up again. The past couple of months, the competition did die down a little bit. There was still competition, but it wasn't as bad as it was earlier in the year. It does seem like competition's starting to increase again. Just this last week, I was working with buyers who normally within the last couple months would be competing with 5 to 10 people, and now we're competing with 15 to 20. And same thing with our listings. We're starting to see more and more offers come in. Things are starting to get a little crazy again, and it's possible that we may see some record-breaking months this fall. Of course, nothing is guaranteed, but it does look like that we're heading in that direction. Great time to sell, little bit of a tougher time if you're trying to buy, but there are still opportunities out there where you can get homes under list price or under market value. You just gotta work a little bit harder to find them. Now let's talk about the average selling price. The average selling price for the GTA as a whole is now just over $1,070,000, which is up 12.6% compared to last year. This double-digit price growth was once again driven primarily by the low-rise market segment. So, you know, your detached, semi-detached townhome, that market segment. However, the average price for condos has been appreciating as well and is now well above inflation levels. The market is really tight right now, and with the lack of supply combined with all the competition that's going on, prices are just kind of going up everywhere. When we look at the month-to-month differences between August of 2021 and July of 2021, the seasonally adjusted difference is we're up 2.4%. In dollar terms, the average price has risen by over $8,000 compared to last month. So with all this information, we could talk about the market as a whole. Things are definitely looking like we're gonna be going back on that crazy upward trend that we had earlier in the year, specifically for the average selling price. With the supply of new listings hitting an all-time low for the month of August over the last decade, there's just simply not enough supply to keep up with the demand from the home buyers. And honestly, this problem is not going to fix itself. It's not going to get any better unless we see some significant increases in the amount of homes available for sale. We can expect these tight market conditions to continue into 2022 and honestly potentially get worse whenever immigration to the GTA resumes being pre-pandemic levels. It's a really strong seller's market right now, and it's probably going to get stronger over time just because of this lack of supply issue. As long as interest rates stay low and there's a lot of people that still want to buy, there's going to be so much competition over the small amount of listings that are available. The price is probably just going to keep jumping unless there's more homes put on the market for sale. We are in September now, and as the federal election rolls around, all the parties have made housing affordability and housing supply a focal point in their campaign. But in order to actually make a difference in housing affordability, there needs to be massive action taken to increase the supply of homes for sale. Any sort of policy change will not have as big of an impact on affordability as simply focusing on fixing the supply issue will. The supply issue is the root of the problem, and that's why prices have dramatically been going up. I have heard about the policies of, stopping blind bidding or stopping foreign buyers from buying here, and that's all fine and dandy, but that doesn't actually fix the root of the problem. Like I said, the supply issue is the root of the problem. There's just not enough supply. And in the case of having an open bidding system, they're doing that in Australia right now, and prices are still skyrocketing. It's still a bidding war whether you know what other people are offering or not. You're still competing against buyers, so that doesn't really fix the issue. If there was just more homes for sale, more homes on the market, more options for buyers to choose from, the whole competition thing wouldn't be as big of an issue, just because there's more choice. Of course, some homes are still going to go into multiple offers and all that, but it's not going to be like 30 people competing for one house. It would be a lot smaller. Anyways, those are just my thoughts from experiencing the market over the past year and a half. I'd love to hear your thoughts though, so drop a comment below and let's talk. No need to get political or anything, but what do you think needs to be done to fix the housing in the GTA? Let's talk about it. Drop a comment. Moving on, let's go into some of the numbers for Mississauga. In August, there were 818 sales in Mississauga, and the average price of a home is now $962,679. That number is 4.7% higher than last year and 0.11% lower than last month, which is just a negligible difference. The average price for a detached home is $1.483 million, which is lower than last month. A semi-detached will cost you just over $1 million, which is higher than last month. The average price for a townhome is $965K, which is lower than last month. A condo townhome will cost you $797K, which is higher than last month. And finally, a condo apartment averages at about $589K, which is again higher than last month. Anyways, that's it for now. I do hope you found this information valuable and informative. If you're thinking about buying or selling a house in the GTA, please feel free to reach out to me. My contact info is below. You can hit me up, whatever works for you. If you want to start going to see houses, if you want to talk about your plans or your goals, or talk about how you want to market your home or how you want to price your home, just reach out to me. We can start having those conversations and we can guide you through that whole process. Thank you so much for watching the video. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you like the video, please hit the like button. We've got some great videos coming out, so double check, make sure you're subscribed, and tap that little notification bell. Until next time, enjoy yourself and have a great week.